Man, we're on this Tuesday power up call and we're giving advice. We're talking to you guys who are starting up, who getting your business going. Where are the hurdles? Peter, we're trying to give the energy to get this thing moving, man. What you got, man? What you got?
Tonight, I think we're going to talk about the importance of keeping it simple. This week, I'm in my car, so we're trading places. So I'm in my car this week, doing, like you said, doing what we got to do. And keeping it simple, I think, is super important. Uh, Generally speaking, I can just speak from my own experience. Like when I first started up my working for myself, starting my own things, doing my own things, because I'm a visionary and I'm a dreamer and I love a good story and I'm always looking for that next big idea, because that's my tendency. It can be really easy to get caught up doing a lot of busy work or a lot of things that feel like momentum, feel like progress, but it's really just busy work. And so I kind of tend to put those things, I had to learn to put some of those things into different categories and identify, is this activity that I'm doing actually part of like my job as the vision caster, as the I mean, it's my company. So if I want to move forward, then I it's up to me to make the decisions and do the things to make it work. And so I have to decide, are these things that I'm putting my time and energy to things that actually get me closer to my objective, or are they things that I'm doing that just feel really good? Like I'll give you a good example. Sometime, in most cases, networking is a fantastic idea. Like going to networking events is not a waste of time, even if you don't think that that particular networking group is going to have anybody interesting there for you to meet. If you're mildly extroverted at all and you have the ability to go into a new environment and meet someone and not fall apart, I would always recommend going to networking events. I will say, with the caveat, there is networking events. There was one in particular that I went to, and I knew that I shouldn't go. I knew that it was going to be a waste of my time, and I knew that I was. It was a bunch of people that were so far outside of my target audience that I just knew that I really shouldn't go, and I needed to. I should have stayed home and worked on something else, but I was desperate to meet new people and build and grow my business. And so against my better judgment, I went, and it actually ended up causing me, I ended up losing a lot of time because I ended up spending energy trying to invest and develop a market that I had no business developing my skill set in, not because I couldn't, but because it wasn't, I hadn't put any chips in that basket yet. And I already had a lot of momentum in some other areas, some other markets. So, so that's a good example of like a time when, had I kept it simple and just laser focused in on where do I currently have momentum, maybe there's some creative things that I can do to unlock other opportunities within that lane, but not trying to start over again. I already built enough, potential business in these other markets. I didn't need to go out and try to start over in a new market. Didn't mean that maybe I wouldn't down the road. And to be honest, some of those contacts that I made during that time, I still have on my phone, and there's possibility of, other opportunities down the road with them. But it's just not, it's just not where I needed to be. And I knew it, but because I was young and zealous and wanting to, not to leave no stone unturned, I ended up kind of delaying myself a little bit, and I did myself a disservice. So I don't look at that as a loss. I look at that as I learned a valuable lesson through that. And so
Right.
I want to impart that to you. And again, I'm not saying don't go to networking events. I'm just saying, before you make major decisions, before you make any decision about strategies, have a list of things that you can filter those decisions through. And, maybe a checklist of, you know, if I do this thing, if I reach out to this potential client, if I, go to this networking event, if I, fill in the blank, will it get me closer to my objective, or will it, take me further away, or do I not know? Because if it's an I don't know, then it's probably best to just put that in the later category
Yeah.
and really laser focus in on the activities and the things that you know are going to propel you and get you closer to your objective.
Yeah, it's really critical, man. As people are starting and at the early stages of the business, is to knowing, okay, what I should be doing. But a lot of times we get very stagnant, or we make, false starts by overcomplicating the process of is that what is core, what is essential to our business. Keep that streamlined and simple, because in the other side of it, I see a lot of times where we have a lot of meetings, and we have a lot of calls, and we have a lot of plans, we have a lot of and we never get going, and so we get stuck in the idea of having a business, right? Get in the motion of, we got our site, we got our quote unquote business, but the business isn't generating any revenue,
Right.
and then at some point, is it a hobby, right? If it's only a business, if it's making money. And that's the name of the game. That's our goal, is to help you level up and connect the dots to get you from idea to where you actually have capital, you have cash in the bank. It's not just a thought process. You know what I mean? It's not just the LLC, right, or the business card, or the website, or the IG page, but there's actually dollars when you go to the bank and you're trying to make that withdrawal. And so uh, keeping it simple means, like, just being in the activity and the effort and the motion of what the business is, whether that is cutting out some of the fluff, right? You don't have to go to every event, take every conversation, everything, because it may not move you in the direction of, let me generate my service, let me produce my widget, and get the business going, because it's about the economics of being in business. That's why you guys join this network, is how do I move my needle forward, whatever that looks like, wherever you are in your career, if it's entrepreneurial or if it is in your professional lane. You have to do what makes sense, and sometimes it really is just keep it simple, right? Just keep it simple. Like my cousin used to say, the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid. And
Yep.
so I mean, that is pointed in that direction. So, man, our goal is really just resourcing you guys within the network, uh to make your dreams become a reality, to get some dollars in the bank, and uh plethora of ways and topics and conversation that we're having. But this Tuesday power up is to, like, give you a boost, a shot in the arm, to get the thing moving. And if you're just getting started, wherever you are, keep it simple. Just move the needle forward in very intentional and very concise, but very practical ways that get you to where it is that you're trying to go. Man, this is Bridge Builders. We are building bridges and changing lives. We'll see y'all next time.